I just want to talk about your profile really quickly and things to consider to make your profile helpful. This right here is your LinkedIn banner. If you have a Canva account, Canva, you can look up LinkedIn banners. There are all sorts of really easy, nice ways to do what I did. Not saying mine's perfect, but telling your target avatar how you help them. A lot of people talk about themselves on LinkedIn with, their headline or, things over here. Tell your target avatar how you help them. I help people generate passive income without the hassles of tenants, termites, and toilets. So if people go and visit, they have a nice visualization and understanding of how I can help them. This right here, I think, is a very underutilized section in LinkedIn. When you comment, your name appears and the first few words of your subheadline appear as well. So if people don't know who you are and they happen to come across your comment, you want them to be curious enough and this to be interesting enough for them to want to come to your profile. And you do that by talking about how you help people or what you do to serve. So make sure this is nice and robust.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Learn and Grow. And today we have a very exciting topic. But before we get started, I'm gonna share my disclaimer a little bit here. Let's see. This session is strictly for educational purposes and should not be considered as a legal, accounting, or investment advice. And if you have any financial questions, please reach out to your CPA for any legal advice. Today, our guest star is Amy Silver. So welcome, Amy. First of all, I'm super excited to have you with us today.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. So I'm just managing multiple things, letting people in and talking to you at the same time. So I'm going to give you a little intro about Amy, tell you who Amy is. Amy is a founder and principal of Silver's Capital, a real estate firm that invests in large commercial real estate properties in emerging markets throughout the United States. Accredited and non-accredited investors appreciate investing alongside her to take advantage of not only her extensive experience, but also her detailed research and exclusive relationships. Silver's Capital currently has over 748 apartment units, 208,000 square feet of flex industrial space, and $96 million worth of asset under management. Wow, Amy, awesome. I love that. You are a rock star, seriously. So today we're going to be talking about how to raise capital using the online tools like LinkedIn, and Amy is expert at that. So welcome again, Amy. Stage is all yours. Let me give you the sharing session because I know you're going to do a presentation.
Thank you. Wow, what an honor, Vinky. This is so exciting. I know you lead a great group here. I see a lot of familiar faces, some new faces. So my goal here really today is to provide as much value as possible to you all. If you know me, I'm a little informal. I have a presentation, but I'm happy to keep this interactive. I know Vinky said leave questions till the end, but if something is burning, and you want to ask, please feel free, go ahead. I'm going to be asking you all questions in hopes to get some, kind of participation and interaction as well. So let's get this started. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see here. I'm presenting from Canva for the first time, so give me just a little bit of grace if you guys can. Usually I do it from a PDF, but let's see here. Let's do presentation full view. Here we go. All right. So you can see my screen, I'm guessing?
Yes.
All right. So if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at you all. If I'm looking here, I'm looking at the presentation. So yes, I'm excited to teach you all a bit more about how I raise millions and millions of dollars on LinkedIn and how you all can too from strangers. So how many of you all are active on LinkedIn right now? Maybe you've got a profile. Okay, thanks, Peggy. Yeah, Kay Trevor, you're definitely active. Kevin, Devin, okay. How often are you all posting? Are you posting daily? Are you posting a few times a week? Are you mainly commenting on other people's posts?
All of the above. Posting all the time, commenting all the time.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Good job. Yeah, I see you. You build great relationships that way. Anyone else? Peggy? Great. Good stuff. Okay. Well, I'm going to start off and tell you all just a little bit of my background and then why I think you should join Peggy, myself, Kay, Trevor, in being really active and involved on LinkedIn and some of the benefits it can give you by participating on the platform. So let's see. Vinky mentioned a little bit about me, so I'm not going to talk about myself too much, but I live in LA with my husband. We call him Husband Joel. It's a formal name. We love traveling internationally, spending time with family, and of course, college football. This is the LA Memorial Coliseum. I'm the founder and principal of Silvis Capital. You all know about kind of my assets under management, and I have raised several million off of LinkedIn from complete strangers, and I want to teach you all how you can do it too. So let's get that started. So why LinkedIn? Because, if you're like me, I'm in my early 40s. We hear about Snapchat, and maybe that's even old. We hear about TikTok, Instagram. So why is LinkedIn the platform that I've chosen, and why do I think it could be valuable to you all as well? Well, there are a lot of statistics that are favorable towards LinkedIn. LinkedIn users earn, half of them earn about $75K or more a year. That is a lot more than the average other social media platform. So talk about fishing where the fish are. 37% of all millionaires in the United States are LinkedIn members and have profiles. LinkedIn has almost 900 million users. And we all know as real estate syndicators, we don't just, not just people from the US that can invest in our deals, right? Most of us allow people from all over the world to invest with us. And LinkedIn users have 2 times the buying power of the average web user. So again, this is just fishing where the fish are. If we're active and we're interacting with people that are LinkedIn users, we have a much higher chance of getting them to invest in our deals. So does that make sense? Is everyone tracking kind of why LinkedIn? Beautiful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So this is my challenge. This is going to be interactive. How many of you have Googled your name recently? Peggy knows what's going on. Vlad, what's the top website or maybe the second or top 3 websites that pop up when you Google your name?
LinkedIn.
It is LinkedIn. I'm going to give you all just like about 30, 60 seconds here. If you haven't Googled your own name recently, take a second and do it. I think you're going to be shocked at what you see. Actually, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to Google someone's name because I want you all to see this real time. So who has not Googled their name recently, but would be open to us Googling it right now? Hey, Trevor? Vlad? Yeah? Okay. I don't know. Hey, Trevor?
Not?
Sorry?
Why not? Let's see.
Let's see. All right. So let me share my screen here. One moment.
All right. Remember to put the K in.
Yes. So we're going to do K, Trevor Thompson. Am I spelling that right?
Thompson. Yep.
All right. Let's see. Look at that top result. Yep. Amazing. And then there's YouTube, and you've got a really good web presence. That's good. Let's see. Vlad, you want to do yours?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see if I'm spelling your name right. Okay. A-R-A. I'm sorry, friend. This is probably annoying to you. Is this you?
Yeah. Look at that. It's cool.
Is this you?
Yeah.
Big time. All right. So we see a very clear example that the top result for both of these folks is LinkedIn. So if someone is looking to do research on you to understand who you are, you can imagine how important it is to make sure that you've got a very solid presence on LinkedIn. So let's go back to the presentation. All right. So great. So you all get it. I showed you now, the importance, fishing where the fish are on LinkedIn. And when people are Googling you, usually it's going to be one of the first websites that shows up with your name is going to be your LinkedIn profile. So how should you get started if you already don't have a presence on LinkedIn? Or maybe how can you fine tune your LinkedIn presence? So here's what I recommend. I'm sure you all have heard of the mantra, know, like, and trust. Everyone's heard that, right? I'm assuming we understand that. Yeah. Good. So I like to think of capital raising on LinkedIn from this perspective as a funnel. So the funnel is first people have to know you, then they like you, and then they trust you. I typically ask people, but I think this is a pretty sophisticated audience, of know, like, and trust, what's the most important of that mantra? And I think we all know it's the know, because people can't like you and trust you if they don't know who you are. So when we get started capital raising on LinkedIn or just getting our profile going and our presence going, we want to make sure we get ourselves known first. So how do we do that? How do we get more people to know, like, and trust us? So in my opinion, from my experience, and this is the system I teach in the course that I have, this really comes down to three things in terms of all of these know, like, and trust. It's getting to know the algorithm. It's understanding how and when to post. And this last thing I think a lot of people forget about, it's commenting and using comments very strategically as well. I'm going to pause. I talk fast. I'm highly caffeinated. Is everyone tracking? Any questions, comments, concerns? We good?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So let's start with the algorithm. Take a little sip here. Does anyone know off the top of their head kind of a simple definition of what an algorithm is for a website? Can anyone kind of explain that? Kind of the explain it like I'm 5 type thing. Anyone want to take a shot?
Look it up.
Go ahead, Peggy.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, that's
I'm
okay.
thinking it's a rhythm. It says rhythm, algorithm.
Okay.
So you have to set a rhythm.
Okay.
And rhythms would be posting every day. I would say someone like, I have a lot of friends that are on there and they post every day. So if you're following somebody, you're going to you're going to look for what they're saying and where they are in their life. And that helps you get to know, like, and trust them.
Nice. That's a good guess. Yeah, I think I love that you're kind of taking apart the word and thinking through, what that might imply. Anyone else want to throw in a guess?
So if you're looking for a literal meaning, that means like a problem solving, breaking the problem into pieces and just kind of connecting the dots. So basically that's what LinkedIn is doing too. You're starting a post and letting people comment on it and connecting with them and just getting your message delivered.
Perfect. Thank you. And thanks, Vinky. So the algorithm, you guys, these are all really good guesses and you guys are touching on several aspects of this. Basically an algorithm for social media, and I probably should have specified that, but it's a process or set of rules to be followed. And there's actually background calculations that are done and other problem solving kind of operations done automatically on the back end that decide what is seen on the user screen. So if you open up your LinkedIn, you all probably know you're not seeing other people's posts in a chronological order, right? So how is the platform deciding what you see or who sees your stuff? Well, they have a secret kind of calculation and metric, if you will, that evaluates all the things that you do. And I'm going to decode some of those for you. And those rules and calculations decide who sees your content and when and how often. So does that make sense? And every social media platform follows this. It's not just LinkedIn. And here's the fun part. It's different for every platform. So Facebook is not the same as Twitter. It's not the same as Instagram or LinkedIn. But we know from experience, I know from doing this, teaching myself for about 3 years, what goes into this algorithm. And I'm happy to kind of accelerate that learning for you all and teach you what that is. So here's how I best describe and have decoded the LinkedIn algorithm. Funny enough, has anyone read the book called The Go-Giver by Bob Burg? Vinky, you have? Okay, Trevor? If you haven't read it, it's a quick read. It's very simple concepts, but I think it perfectly encapsulates this LinkedIn algorithm, believe it or not. And I'll tell you a bit why. So the Go-Giver basically talks about this value of giving to other people without any expectation of anything in return. So that goes to, the law of value. Your worth is determined by how much you give to others. The law of compensation, your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them, on and on and on. But I think you guys get the general gist of it. LinkedIn's algorithm really rewards when you give, whether it's give content, give education, give support, give comments, give encouragement. The more of all of that you give on the platform, you're going to receive an infinite magnitude of that back with your content. So, I think this book is a good, at least in my humble opinion, a good metric for, how to operate in the real estate business as a whole, but it really holds true on LinkedIn as well. So as you're trying to get known and using this Go-Giver model, how can you utilize the algorithm in your favor? Well, we know from experience, again, I have several years of doing this. I have millions of dollars of wired funds to prove that this works from strangers off of LinkedIn. You should really be posting 5 to 7 times a week, which may sound really intimidating. And I know at the beginning you can be like, oh my gosh, what should I post? What does that look like? We'll get to that. It's actually not as hard as it may seem, but the algorithm does favor those who post a lot, which makes sense, right? Because how are people getting value? Why do people return to LinkedIn as users? Well, we're the content creators, right? LinkedIn doesn't only provide all that content. So they're relying on us to post stuff as much as possible to get eyeballs on their website. So we're the content creators, so they're going to favor that and reward us. A bit more kind of specific things that the algorithm favors: pictures of faces where you can see the whites of your eyes. So close enough. I know that sounds oddly specific, but LinkedIn has really tested what makes people engage with posts, what makes people do what's called stop the scroll. We all kind of mindlessly scroll through all social media, but what causes people to stop, take a look, maybe even read the content? Pictures of faces. So the algorithm really favors that as well. This is a common mistake I see, and I actually did this for a while before realizing links to outside websites in the original post is a no-no. And why? Because that takes the users away from LinkedIn onto another website.
Oh.
So I know. So post, when you see people say, hey, the link is in the comments, don't miss the link in the comments. That's why. Because the algorithm is going to downgrade and not show as many people posts when you link to an outside website. So a simple modification by saying, hey, links in the comments will do your post a world of favor. And then sometimes creating a little controversy. And I'm not saying to be clickbaity. You follow my content on LinkedIn, you probably haven't seen me do anything too outrageous, but I do say some edgy things on occasion, like your home isn't an asset. Some people feel some type of way about that, and that can get engagement. And I really don't do it just to rig the algorithm. I do it because a lot of people that aren't familiar with our real estate space haven't heard that before and have been kind of stuck in our culture's mindset of, well, your house is always an investment, always an asset. And they can learn from the comments. So these are my top algorithm hacks here. And I'm going to pause again because I'm overly caffeinated and talk fast. Anyone have any thoughts, aha moments, questions?
I do have a question for you, Amy. So how is different when you put the link in the post versus putting in the comment? It's the same post, right? So
yes,
put it there.
So the way it works is anytime you put up a post, the algorithm examines the post for several qualities. And some of this is the content I just said. And based on just the post alone, LinkedIn decides how many people it's going to show the post to. So if you post the link in the comments, that's not part of that original analysis that the LinkedIn algorithm does. Now, the algorithm will continue to show throughout the day more people your post if there are more comments and people decide to comment and say and engage in conversation. But the most important part is the first, this initial kind of first blush examination by the algorithm. And it's not looking at the comments. It's just looking at the post in and of itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So let me ask you a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have seen with my posts, I'm not posting for a little bit now, I'm taking a break. I was posting every day, so it was a good traction too. But since I didn't post for a few weeks, there was changes at my end. So I just see the yesterday or day before, a couple posts that we had, it kind of died right away. It didn't gain any traction. So what happened, before and now? Just giving a break of like 3 weeks because we were trying the company pages, see if they get any traction over the personal pages. So now, like it's a zero traction. The post is dying, like within that 20 minutes, 30 minutes, no, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, people are punished for not posting consistently. So if you take a break, it is going to take a while for you to get back up to where you were of posting 5 to 7 times a week consistently for several weeks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So LinkedIn has a great scheduling feature. So if you need a break, you can schedule a post. Most of my posts that you see come out at the same time on weekdays because they're just scheduled. So you can kind of, if you're feeling burned out, you can batch and kind of write and think about what to post and then schedule it. And then, you can take the rest of the week off if you're not doing some of the other things. I don't recommend posting and ghosting, if you will. I recommend engaging in other people's content. But if you're really burned out, just schedule something.
Yeah. Can you share with us the scheduling feature too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Let me pull up my LinkedIn real quick. All right. Forgive all my million tabs here. So you go to start a post. And then let's just pretend I'm typing something here. And at the very bottom, there's a thing called scheduled for later. So you can decide when you want to have that scheduled. And then when you click next, that'll go ahead and schedule it.
Interesting. Thanks.
Yes. Sorry?
So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. So you can see my scheduled posts. My one for today already went out, but this is my Friday, Saturday, and I tend to write everything on Sunday.
Yeah, that's good because we use my team. They use like Outer or some kind of app to post it, and those apps like Later or Radar, they don't post it on your personal pages, so they have to be manually. So there are apps there that you can use, the scheduling apps, I think they call it, that you can post.
Yes. Oh, what LinkedIn favors, it knows when an outside app or other website is posting on your behalf. So using the native scheduling tool is favored by the website. And company pages, for whatever reason, aren't very favored. They want kind of more of a personal interaction. So if you're choosing between company or posting under your own name, always post under your own name.
What about posting on both?
Yeah, you can definitely post on both. But if, just in my hypothetical scenario, if you had to choose, always do the personal one. You'll see you'll always get a lot more traction. People like interacting with people as opposed to kind of faceless company type things.
Well, can you like tag your business with
you can tag your business. So do at that, then it will post both and create a tag.
Yeah.
People follow people, not companies normally.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me too.
And you can tweet it too at the same time, right? When you post something on LinkedIn, it lets you tweet the same post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That way, you don't have to go separately on Twitter to make the same post.
So let's talk about posting. So these are, we're on the second step now. We talked a little bit about the algorithm. So let's talk about posting itself. We talked about how many posts on LinkedIn regularly. So that the most common question I get from my students in my course is, what in the world should I be posting about? So let's talk about that. Where I usually have people start is thinking about their target avatar. So what does that look like? Who are you trying to speak to? And most people raising capital say, I don't care. I just want to raise enough money to fund my deal. The irony is, though, if you are speaking to everybody, you're actually speaking to nobody, and you are going to catch more investors and attract more money by identifying and creating in your mind an actual person, not a range of people, not an age range, not a job, industry, but an actual person named Mary, who's 52 years old, who has 2 kids that are age 17 and 22, who lives in Pasadena, California, who works as a nurse practitioner at UCLA, that specific. Talking to a specific person, we'll talk about this on the next page, helps you really understand their wants, their desires, and their goals, and their fears and their pain points. Once you have a specific person in mind, you can curate your posts talking to the positive, what their wants and desires are, or what their fears and their pain points are. And interestingly enough, when you speak to a specific person like this, that avatar you've created in your brain, you're actually going to attract other people that maybe don't fit this, avatar perfectly, but they relate to it, they resonate with it, and you'll actually catch more fish in your net that way. So that to me was a mindset shift a few years ago, because I think like most people, I just wanted anyone to invest in my deals. Is that resonating with you all?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Appreciate the feedback. So yeah, we can really drill this down, the wants, desires, fears, and pain points to real estate specifically. How is real estate relevant to their wants, desires, and goals, fears, and pain points? Whether it's, they're unstable in their job, and so they're trying to figure out a way to have another source of income. Whether they want to leave a legacy to their children, but they're realizing that just contributing to their 401k isn't going to help them leave a legacy. Maybe they want to have more time to spend with their kids or more time to travel, but they're realizing they're going to have to work well beyond, 65. And we can articulate how real estate investing can be a solution either to their goals or to something that they're currently fearing. And again, we can give education. So we can talk, a bit about real estate, and we can also give education that is relevant to help them reach their goals or alleviate their fears as well. So sample topics like, what's a self-directed IRA, or what is alternative investing? What's a syndication? What are, some of the tax benefits? You guys get it. There's a lot that we're all super familiar with because we live and breathe this every day. But again, having this target avatar in our mind and understanding what these people are going through can help illuminate the education, the value, and help us be a go-giver to these people. And that can really be a catalyst for infinite posts that you can share on LinkedIn. Some other things to consider, again, we're living our lives every day. Some of it's repetitive. Some of it doesn't seem all that illuminating, but you're learning things every day, or I hope you are. I certainly am. And we can share what we learned as a post. Maybe it doesn't feel profound to you, but to your network, it can be something really interesting. So maybe something you learned in this class, you can even share, Vinky's always teaching great things. You guys learn things in this group. So you can take one idea from a day and create a post about it. A lot of us on our growth journey used to believe certain things. Now we've got a different perspective, maybe even about creating a target avatar, maybe about, market research, debt terms in real estate. There are just infinite amount of things that we can think about where we've had a change of heart or a change in perspective, and we can use that to really educate and help our base as well. And of course, current events. There's not a shortage of current events in multifamily right now, whether it's the debt ceiling, the debt market, all those deals going south in Houston. Talking about current events, again, just helps educate people on LinkedIn, and that education and addressing their goals or their pain points will attract people to you as they get to know you and like you through this.
It's a great presentation.
Oh, thanks, Peggy. Appreciate it.
No, this is great. Yeah, it's so easy to post anything, but you could write anything, but what you really need is to, just what you said, address pain points. Are you afraid you're going to run out of money? So many people do. I have an aunt that's just run out of money. What the hell is she going to do? She's 92, going on 93, and what's she going to do?
Yeah.
It's really late to invest. And when you ran out, now you have nothing to invest.
Yeah.
Talk about scary.
We do have an incredible opportunity to help people. And I think that's why most of us are in this industry. I mean, the money's great, but there's lots of ways to make money. But, as capital raisers, as syndicators, we can help people achieve these goals, because society, as we know, the news isn't teaching people. They're telling people to compile a pile of money and gradually, chip away at it. But how do you know how long you're going to live? I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, right? But yeah, so thank you.
And let me ask you this question because, you're already there. I was going to ask you, because you're a rock star when you're posting, when it comes to posting and the engagement, people are commenting, you're commenting back, and your post really getting a lot of traction all the time. So let me ask you this. How did you come up with post ideas? Since we're talking about post ideas, a lot of people, they struggle. What should I post? Even, in this meeting right now, we have tons of ideas. People are talking about so many different things. But a lot of people are going to be hesitant taking one of those things and posting on social media. So again, it comes back to fear and hesitation. If you can talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. One of my favorite sayings, as trite as it sounds, is nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So if your goal is to raise capital, to help people, to syndicate, we all know this journey is not easy, and the success rate isn't easy. But those of us who are willing to feel the fear and do it anyway, get outside of our comfort zone. I feel like Tony Robbins with everything I'm saying right now, but it's true. The worst thing that can happen is people don't engage. And those of us who are willing to be new and be vulnerable will always be the ones that succeed, right? Because most people will let their fear get the best of them. I go back even a year ago and look at what I posted, and it is not the same quality and not the same value as what I post now, but there is no way else to learn. We can read about it, we can hear other people talk about it, but there really is no other way to learn other than getting out there and trying. I lift weights, all 5'2" of me. I don't go to the gym expecting to bench press 200 pounds right off the bat, right? I start with the bar, then maybe I add 2.5 pounds on both sides. This is a process just like anything, and posting is the same. You are not going to be spectacular at it right away. You just aren't, but it's a journey. And thankfully, there's an incredible community of other syndicators that loves to interact and help and comment, and you can learn from other people just by watching. So Vinky, I don't know if I'm going off on a tangent or if that's helpful, but
I think that was really good, because it's more like a mindset. Like you said, it plays a big role, because a lot of time what happens is people try to compare, oh my God, his or her post, you're so popular, and people are commenting, more traction. Nobody liked my post. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So go back into your cocoon kind of thing, So
yes.
It's okay. Nobody likes it. Somebody's still seeing it somewhere. That's the way it rolls, because a lot of times you don't even know that people are watching you. I have noticed that myself. I go out to, even public gatherings here, there, people notice you.
Yeah.
Hey, you're Vinky Loomba. So then you feel like, oh my God, even though I didn't get enough traction on my post, but I know somebody noticed me somewhere, because like you're hesitant about posting, people are hesitant on commenting too.
Yeah.
They're not sure what to say sometimes. They don't even want to like it sometimes. It's okay. As long as you're being seen, you are being heard. That's the way I look at it.
Well said. That's so smart, Vinky. And you're right. That's the advantage of social media, is it's a one-to-many platform, right? I know people that go out, they raise capital by having individual conversations at conferences in person. Nothing wrong with that. But as Vinky said, you'd be shocked at how many people are watching, even if they aren't interacting. And I have people all the time. I'm doing a capital raise right now. I've had several people. Amy, I feel like I already know you. I've been watching you for a year and a half. I have no idea who they are, but they're great folks. Obviously, I get to know them. We're all SEC compliant. But it's just amazing how many lurkers and people that are really engaged in their mind. They just don't happen to be commenting and doing things. So it's another great value to the platform.
That's true.
Thanks, Vicky. So I'll hurry up a little bit because I want to leave some time for questions. All right, let's get this presentation mode. All right. So a few other just quick ideas, and I'm glad this is recorded because I'm going to talk a little bit fast, but you can talk about myths people may be hearing about investing, something you recently experienced in the multifamily space, your personal journey. A lot of people can relate to stories and learn. I talk about the fact that it took me 10 years to get into the multifamily space. That's not very many people's stories, but they hear, a bit about why I'm dedicated to it, why it was so important to me. Yeah, they get to know you. They get to like you. We talked about real estate investing basics. You can talk about that and why what you do. I have a post today that was about the feedback that we get from our residents about how much we care for them. That resonates with a lot of people. So these are just a few posting ideas. So I'm just going to give you some examples. And again, you're welcome to go through my LinkedIn and see what I've posted. And, if you take an idea, that's fine. Just tag me and give me credit. But this is one post idea that that got a lot of traction, helping people understand the different types of taxes and how people are taxed differently based on income. A lot of people only know about earned income. They don't realize that portfolio and passive income can be taxed differently. So this was something that a lot of people told me was valuable to them in terms of education. They got a lot of interaction. This is another, post about my first real estate purchase was a 58-unit apartment complex and not my own home. Why was that? So telling a little bit about my story. Everyone's got their own story, that people might be interested in. So that's me and husband Joel acting ridiculous because we were excited. This is another, this is kind of a hot take that I talked about. And my goal isn't to be provocative and make people angry, but there are a lot of investors that learn through the comments and through kind of different takes on things. So talking about making money by investing in your own home versus, investing in multifamily real estate. Going quickly just for time. Okay, so the algorithm is getting you known. The posting is getting you liked. Commenting helps to build trust as well. So what's the deal with commenting? Now, this is how you comment on other people's posts. You can actually do just as much, if not more, than posting by commenting. I think Kate Trevor does an amazing job with this. Wherever I am, Kate Trevor is providing encouragement, enthusiasm, support. And candidly, Kate Trevor, I think it's one of the ways I got to know you because you were all over social media just providing support in the comments. And it's a great lesson, I think, to all of us of, if you're strategically thinking about whose post you're commenting on, you can get known, liked, and trusted by those people as well. So I think about my target avatar, which are people in the healthcare community. I don't target doctors and nurses, but other folks, especially that work in biotech. I find their posts on LinkedIn and I comment, and they get to know me that way. And they're not cheesy, trying to get something from them comments. They're truly, ways to support, to encourage or, add value. And all that can be done through commenting. Again, you can comment on other people's posts. Again, going back to these pain points, goals, make sure to keep those in mind as you comment. The other thing I would recommend, and this goes back to juicing the algorithm, is when someone comments on your post, make sure to reply to them, ideally in a timely manner. What this does is LinkedIn rewards conversation. So if Kate Trevor says, "Hey, Amy, that's awesome. You did this. Congratulations." And I reply, "Hey, man, I really appreciate the support. You're awesome. I can't wait to see what you're doing next." Or better yet, I ask him a question back to keep the conversation going. Again, we don't want to be cheesy and artificial, but genuinely have a conversation. Like maybe I say, "Hey, Kate Trevor, appreciate the support. What do you have going on?" And then he replies telling me what he has going on. And I build that relationship with him. It's not just for the sake of the algorithm. I'm really keeping up with my buddy in this industry and understanding what he's doing. So don't post and ghost. Post on LinkedIn, hang around, check back, see who's commenting and reply to those comments because that'll get your post seen more. And once you post, comment on at least 3 other people's posts right after you post. So again, going back to the don't post and ghost, show some love, be a go-giver, find other people on the platform and show them some love. The algorithm takes your activity into consideration when it decides how many people to show your post to. Going quickly. This is just a visualization of this virtuous cycle of commenting. You comment on other people's posts. The more you do that, the more LinkedIn shows people your posts, and the more people interact with your posts, the more LinkedIn shows people your posts. So it's this go-giver virtuous cycle where in order to receive, keep giving. All right, so I don't know how much time, we got a few minutes. I just want to talk about your profile really quickly and things to consider to make your profile helpful. This right here is your LinkedIn banner. If you have a Canva account, Canva, you can look up LinkedIn banners. There are all sorts of really easy, nice ways to do what I did. Not saying mine's perfect, but telling your target avatar how you help them. A lot of people talk about themselves on LinkedIn with, their headline or, things over here. Tell your target avatar how you help them. I help people generate passive income without the hassles of tenants, termites, and toilets. So if people go and visit, they have a nice visualization and understanding of how I can help them. This right here, I think, is a very underutilized section in LinkedIn. When you comment, your name appears and the first few words of your subheadline appear as well. So if people don't know who you are and they happen to come across your comment, you want them to be curious enough and this to be interesting enough for them to want to come to your profile. And you do that by talking about how you help people or what you do to serve. So make sure this is nice and robust. What else? Have a recent profile picture. This one's 2 years old for me. I'm aging. It's fine. Older age does well in this industry, so I don't mind showing my wrinkles, but update your profile pictures often. So when people see you on something like this or in real life, they recognize you and it's not, it's fine. We're all changing with age. Just make sure it's current. And then, include your website. If you don't have one, definitely work on getting one, but make it easy for people to learn a bit more about you by including that in your profile. There's also a featured section on LinkedIn. So you can select some posts that you've done in the past and feature them. So when people are stalking you on your profile, they can get it's a really tailored way for people to kind of understand and look at what you're up to and what you want them to take away. I know we're short on time. I'm going to keep going real quick. There's an about section. Help people understand what you do. Maybe include some frequently asked questions. So by the time people look at your posts, maybe visit your website, go to your about section, interact and comment with you, they're getting to know, and build a lot of trust with you through this platform. So don't sleep on this about section. Okay. Before we take questions, I've got a challenge for you all. I know you guys are up for a challenge. I'm going to challenge you all to post on LinkedIn for 5 of the next 7 days. Comment on 3 people's posts in 5 of the next 7 days. This is a big one. And send 20 connection requests total over the next 7 days. If you do this and build this habit, you are going to successfully go through this know, like, and trust funnel. And you will be shocked if you do this consistently. It's not going to just take 7 days. It takes time. At how many people's interest you spark, how many direct messages you get, how many people that are interested in getting to know you more and ultimately invest in your deals. So this is me. If we're not already connected on LinkedIn, would love to connect. This is our active deal right now. I'm not raising capital. I should have changed that to silvuscapital.com, but just ignore this and just go to my LinkedIn and we can touch base there. So I'd love to take questions. Thanks you all so much for listening.
Awesome, Amy. I think this was a really, really good presentation. And a lot of learning, it's very simple things. But at the same time, a lot of us, we just ignore that, don't do it. So, but this is a whole lot of things. I'm going to say that too. I'm going to emphasize again, it's a whole lot of things. So how do you manage your time to do all these things, make posts every day, comment on 3 people or 5 people, right? And then like reply to all the comments that you get on your post. So this is like a whole day kind of event, How do you manage that?
I get your calendar like an hour once a week to create, and then go on for 10 minutes, like at 7 o'clock or at 9 o'clock in the morning, or wherever you start your day or end your day, whatever your best time is. Yeah,
Hey, that's perfect.
you
I
do
think,
that, right?
yeah, I think batch creating on Sundays for me is very helpful, scheduling those posts. I love our community, and it took a while for me to see the value of how to attract strangers to invest. But once I realized how much I can help people, and the stories that I hear, it's really worth it. It's really rewarding to support other people. And I've chosen a target avatar that I love and care a lot about. Many of you may know I've had some health challenges in the past. I've also worked in healthcare in the past. So interacting with this target avatar is a pleasure. It's exciting. It's a great way to get to know people. And the money comes, if we go ahead and do routinely these great things of giving. So it does take time, but it is a lot less time than going to conferences or talking to people individually, which I do. But yeah, it's very fruitful. So that motivates me.
So let me ask you one follow-up question.
Yeah.
We spoke about that, before, I think long back maybe, how some people, they hire the virtual assistant. Oh, I have a VA. VA is going to comment, take care of all my posts and everything. How that is different than doing it yourself. So if you can talk about that.
Yeah. I want people to know they're talking to me. And it is, when we get on the phone, because that's again, what I talk about in the course is how to get, people interested, but not just them commenting, but getting them in DMs and then ultimately on the phone and wiring money to your deals. I don't want to be, caught empty-handed when someone tells me like, hey, we talked about this on LinkedIn. Do you remember? And it wasn't me. That feels to me disingenuous. I understand the want to use a virtual assistant. It makes sense. It can be a time saver, but I'm all about building genuine relationships and really helping people. And I feel like my hands are tied behind my back if I have someone else doing that on my behalf. Now, is that scalable? Absolutely not. But, there are systems and processes where, I have people go through other things that are a bit more automated to make it a bit more scalable. But for now, LinkedIn is, I follow kind of the Yona Weiss mantra. If you're not following Yona Weiss on LinkedIn, you're missing out. He's kind of the godfather, if you will, of LinkedIn. But I think it is possible to have genuine relationships and interaction by myself without a VA.
Master, I like that. So Peggy has a question. Peggy?
Yeah, I wondered if you do recordings and put the recordings on when you do that scheduling. Are they any of them recorded to see the whites of your eyes?
Videos don't do as well as regular posts on LinkedIn, believe it or not. It is not a video rewarded platform. So I do not post videos as much. That's more rewarded from my understanding on Instagram and TikTok. But videos don't do as well or get as many views on the platform.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you do want to post a video, put it in the comments, not in your main post.
Oh, okay.
Comments will get you engagement with your friends and your network. In the main post, you'll get ignored by LinkedIn. So always put video links, any link that sends them away from LinkedIn in the comments.
Thank you.
And on VAs, I hate them for contacting me. It drives me crazy. Somebody I know, so have you ever thought of investing in real estate? And I say, clearly you're a VA, please leave me alone. And I'm normally not rude, but I've been so many. And I want to talk to real people. I get some people, there's a guy who's super trained as VAs, like they have to look at his posts for a month before they can comment and there's, not speak as a feminine, he's a he and all the different things, but super challenging to use them to try to start a personal conversation. They can invite people to things. My VA posts on my Facebook group and my Instagram, because I'm old and I don't understand it. And she makes cool stuff and makes me look like I know what I'm doing. But I don't let her comment just because I can't. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. All right, we're
And this, to do this right, takes a ton of time. Right, takes a ton of time. Pick some people, stalk them for a while. That's what I, So I've been stalking Amy, and I can't give her up. But spend some time and energy really getting to know somebody and linking and connecting with them. And once you get famous, people will tag you. It was funny. I met this guy. I'd never met him in person once, and he's been tagging me for more than a year. And I told him he owed me a nickel for every time he tagged me. I think you're up to $100 grand right now. And then he asked me, did I mind? And I said, I don't, because he's got a big audience.
Nice. So
the irony about tagging. Oh, sorry, Vinky.
I know Peggy's ready to go. Before everybody goes, I'm going to ask one quick ask over here. If everybody can come on the camera, I'm going to take a screenshot, and everybody should do that. This is a challenge for everybody. Let's post everybody this group picture on LinkedIn and tag everybody else.
On LinkedIn. Where do you post this stuff? Are you on YouTube for this post?
Me?
Well, Vicky is recording this, so I wondered if she posted on YouTube.
Yes. It will go on YouTube. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Because I'd like my team to watch this, and I'd like you to come on my show too.
Sure. I'd love to.
Okay, so everybody can turn on the camera so I can take a screenshot. And I think everybody should do that. Take a screenshot and make a post on LinkedIn today. And tag everybody whosoever is here. All right. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Okay, I'm ready. Anybody else wanted to turn the camera on before I take the screenshot? Okay, smile, everybody. I think one more time. Okay, there you go.
Here's the thing about tagging. Be very careful. If you tag someone in a post and they don't comment, the algorithm punishes you. So like Kay Trevor, I'm tagged in a lot of posts. I think it's people trying to get me to comment. But be very careful because, not only will people get annoyed, but the algorithm will punish you. So if you're going to tag anyone, probably do it in the comments or make sure, it's one or two people that will comment and say something encouraging.
Thank you, Amy, very much. Gotta go. Got another meeting.
Yeah, my pleasure. Bye, Peggy. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for your great questions.
Thanks, Vicky and Amy. Appreciate it.
You got it, Robert.
It was really good. Anybody has any questions for Amy?
Good presentation. Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Ken. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Amy, share your contact information before everybody leaves, please.
Yes.
Yeah. So I put it in the chat. I'm amy@silvascapital.com. I actually have a 12-week course coming up where I teach people how to raise capital on LinkedIn. So if you're interested in joining, would love to have you. But other than that, yeah, find me on LinkedIn. Would love to keep in touch. And if you've got any other questions, I follow the go-giver mentality. So I'm happy to answer any other questions you have and add value to you.
Thanks, Amy. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Vicky. This is a pleasure.